country, including Kesme 107.1 FM in Wa. It's on W 93.5 FM. Around the world, that's live on 3news.com. Coming up, more than 20 passengers confirmed dead, with several others critically injured following a head-on collision near Kintampo in the Bono East region. We'll be live for the latest. Also, Ghana marks 66 years of independence with commemorative events across the country. We are live in the Volta regional capital, where it is playing host to the national parade. Meanwhile, fire has gutted GBC's local transmission station in the Volta region. That's Volta Star Radio, and disrupting the live broadcast of the Independence Day parade. We'll tell you also why former President John Mahama decided to boycott the event at Adaklu.
I stopped going to the Independence Day because it's become a party jamboree. They bus their supporters in and fill the whole stadium. They have party flags, they're wearing party t-shirts. I don't want to be part of a party jamboree.
It is not the first time the NDC 2024 flag bearer hopeful is missing a national event. Will be crossing over live to the area where President Akufo-Addo is expected to address the gathering on this day. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are. Let's begin on a rather sad note, and more than 20 passengers have been confirmed dead and several others in critical condition and are in hospital after a head-on collision near Kintampo in the Bono East region. The accident reportedly happened at around 11:45 p.m. last night when the Kumasi-bound bus from Yendi with registration number AS463522 rammed into an articulated truck with registration number GW1127T traveling in the opposite direction. We understand many other individuals are in hospital. Let's get on the line now and speak to Emmanuel Ichampon-Parry. He's the regional head, National Road Safety Authority, Bono East Region. Thank you for joining us, sir. So you can confirm that 22 of the individuals died in this collision?
That's true. I can confirm.
And what more do we know about the others who were injured? Where are they?
Currently, most of them are in Tampo hospital, and few are being referred to the bigger hospital in Kumasi.
I'm afraid you have to reposition for us because we're having a challenge hearing you clearly at this end. But what have you been gathering as the National Road Safety Authority in the area about the circumstances leading to this particular crash, beyond the head-on collision and the fact that there was a stationary truck on the highway?
Please come again.
Hello, Mr. Parry.
Yeah, I can hear you. Come again.
Yes, I am asking, what more can you tell us as Road Safety Authority as you've been gathering from the ground?
Okay, thank you very much. As you already said, a crash is happening, and it happened exactly at Kintampo 4. Yeah, from the other vehicle was descending, from the other side too was descending and about to ascend here. So both drivers didn't anticipate, and unfortunately, it happened where a vehicle, a vehicle registration number from Burkina Faso has been broken down, and the other vehicle wanted to take the other lane so that we can move ahead towards the Burkina, and the other bus from loaded passengers from Yendi to Kumasi. Unfortunately, they didn't anticipate that the other vehicle will come to its way, and they collided head-on. And several people are injured now, but unfortunately, as we are saying, 22 are confirmed dead.
Okay, and then you also told me earlier, before we came on air, that a number of individuals are also receiving treatment in hospital?
Yeah. And leaving few, about 5 but they have been treated and decided within sustain serious injuries, so they have been treated and discharged. But majority are the hospital now.
So what do we know about next steps forward? Because the police, we've not heard anything from the police yet. What does the scene look like? I'm sure your men on the ground have been briefing you about since 11:45 p.m. last night till now. What's been the development?
Yeah, currently, the scene has been almost, we are still clearing the scene, and it's left with a tow truck to take away the broken down vehicle from the scene. So right now, the scene is under control. The police have been there since night to this time, and they are still gathering information. And even our men are still doing some interviews with the victims as to the exact cause of what they saw before the crash. Because you and I were not there. So what after the scene, everything we hear about the cause, maybe it might be speculated, but those in the vehicle can tell us more about what exactly happened before the crash. So we are still gathering that actual cause of the crash. So the men are still doing some interviews with the victims at the hospital.
Where did we go wrong, Mr. Parry? Because it is not the first time we are hearing about such a gory accident on the Kintampo Highway, claiming so many lives. We know since excess of 60 people lost their lives sometime in 2019, 25 people were killed on the highway sometime in 2020, and now another 22. There must be a problem on that stretch. And why are we not fixing the problem?
Thank you very much. We National Safety Authority, with other stakeholders, are doing our best. Likewise, the general public. But I would say some drivers are very stubborn and they don't listen to the little advice with it. Because that stretch, when you recognize or get to know that a particular spot has been prone, as a driver, you must take extra caution because I will see that no matter what the cause of the actual cause of the accident, I will see that both drivers they didn't anticipate because nobody thought that somebody will come to you for a week. So they were all just going, climbing a hill. You should know what you are supposed to do. Descending, you should know what they are supposed to do. But when they get behind the steering wheel, I don't know what they think about in terms of safety. So we have been telling them they should take extra care about using the road, especially as a driver and passengers. They should be careful and also try to always advise drivers when they are overspeeding and doing wrongful overtaking. Because as we are talking now, the passengers will be the right people to tell us the actual cause of the accident because they saw what happened. If the driver was speeding, we saw it, but what did they do about it? But let's come to the stakeholders and other the general public. This broken down vehicle has been a menace. It has worried us, and National Association brought up a proposal, but the general public didn't accept. And this thing is continuing to hurt us. So we are begging the general public, or we are pleading with them that we bring that. It's for their own good, not for the good of the individual or the individual organization. It's for the good of the nation. So if we all think that this thing will help us, let's all come together and support it. This broken down vehicle could be told immediately back. Where is the tow truck? Who is responsible to tow it?
All right, thank you very much. We'll leave it here. Emmanuel Echampon Parry, he's a regional head, National Road Safety Authority in the Bono East region. They're giving us those details. And if you're just joining us here on the Midday News, the story is that 22 individuals have lost their lives in an accident on the Kintampo Highway. More than 25 others are in hospital receiving treatment for varied degrees of injuries. In the course of the day, we'll be bringing you a lot more on this. But let's head to the Volta region, at Daklu to be specific, where all activities have been ongoing to mark the 66th Independence Day celebrations. While that was happening, fire, we understand, has raised the transmission station of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation in the Volta region, that's Volta Star, disrupting a live transmission of a program. The fire is said to have caused a substantial damage to some transmission equipment, affecting the live broadcast. Head of Transmission and Engineering at Volta Star Radio, Koku Towe, has been explaining the cause of the fire.
This morning, around 09:30 hours, I received a call from my security that the place is on fire. That is our TV transmitter station, the DPT site. It's very unfortunate that it's happening on the day of independence, where the people of Volta region must witness those who cannot be at the venue to watch. But there was a fault which we worked on yesterday. And this morning, the stored batteries from the solar system caught fire. And then we had to call on fire service to come and help us quench the fire as we see how we can better restore TV traffic into the region.
So as you are speaking with us now, are you sure the fire service are having the power to do so?
Yes.
Or as they are currently grappling with the situation?
Yes, they came using fire, it was not working, and they used the foam tube, it was not working. We have to use all our fire extinguishers that contain the CO2, which I believe they are using now. The whole place is a stored battery charge in a container, so you can get electrocuted too. So we are going their way around it to seize the fire.
You heard the head of transmission and engineering at Volta Star Radio, Koku Towe, speaking to my colleague Robert Abilba, who is joining us on the line for the latest. Robert, can you confirm if the fire has been completely doused now?
Yeah, very grateful, Komla. Currently, the fire servicemen are still fighting the fire because the supposedly batteries that the engineer had already mentioned are inside, deep, and it is very difficult to enter inside to put it off. So that is what is creating the problem now. But they are on it as we speak now. The first tender, water has gotten finished. They use all the extinguishers that are available within the catchment area, within the yard, and all finished. Still, they've just gone to refill and they are back and they are still fighting the fire as I speak with you now.
And I'm sure you can also confirm that there have been no injuries or damages to or casualties, if I should put it.
No, as I speak with you, there hasn't been any reported injury as such. Everything is ongoing smoothly, but they are doing their best to put off the fire entirely.
So does that mean transmission has been halted as a result of this?
We are very, 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 very fortunate. You know, the Volta Star talking about its transmission nature. It has about 3 areas. One is at Akachi, another one at Mejope, and then Ketekrachi. So the whole one, within the whole area, is what has stopped transmitting. But currently, those within Akachi and Mejope, they are getting signal. And they have quickly stripped. Direct transmission is coming from Accra, so it has been restored. But we, those within who, we are no more getting signals.
All right, thank you very much, Robert Abilba. And I'm sure many of you who have been monitoring the coverage of the events have been venting on social media about how transmission keeps jerking off and being cut off in spots on the Ghana Broadcasting Network's live feed. And so we'll be getting through to our colleagues who are on ground to bring us the latest as we wait for President Akufo-Addo to deliver his anniversary speech, plus the guest speaker who is also expected to deliver an address. But conspicuously missing at the event in Adaklu in the Volta region is ex-president John Mahama. It is not the first time the NDC 2024 flag bearer hopeful is failing to show up at a nationally organized event, but Mr. Mahama has some explanations. He says such events in the recent past have been turned into party jamborees. He was speaking at a dinner and award ceremony of the NDC's Professionals Forum on the eve of the independence celebrations.
I just came from the Volta region, and just when I was leaving, we were preparing to celebrate the Independence Day. I stopped going to the Independence Day because it's become a party jamboree. I went to Tamale. They told GBC to take the camera off me. They bussed their supporters in and filled the whole stadium. When I got into the stadium, the place was quiet. I went and sat. They gave me some corner somewhere and went and sat there, and they occupied the days. And any of them who came in, hey, hey. And I said, I don't want to be part of this party jamboree. Independence is a solemn national celebration. We should celebrate it at the Independence Square. And everybody wanted to come. Today they bussed their supporters in. They have party flags. They're wearing party T-shirts. I don't want to be part of a party jamboree. Nkrumah got us independence. I'm an Nkrumahist. I will attend an Independence Day any day if it's not hijacked by one party, because it should be a national day for all of us. So I'm not going to be in hold because I don't want to be part of an MPP jamboree. You watch what will happen. So bust their people in and occupy that whole place.
You heard the NDC 2024 flag bearer hopeful and former President John Mahama there. Meanwhile, the Convention People's Party, which birthed the country's independence in 1957, called for a total boycott of the Independence Day celebrations before today. Nana Yajantwa, General Secretary of a CPP.
We do not think that it's worthwhile to celebrate the independence. We are saying that Ghanaians should boycott the independence celebration. Number one, are we independent? We are in IMF. We are dealing with a very alien kind of instrument mechanism called DDET. That is taking off, shaving off the interest payments for pensioners, one of the most vulnerable groups in our society. Today we are talking about of independence when we cannot buy vaccines to insulate another group, a vulnerable group of children from a deadly disease like measles. In this time, in this 21st century, we cannot get money to buy a measles vaccine. How is that? We cannot even pay for work that has been done by contractors, for work that has been done by vendors. This government doesn't even know what they are doing. Today, I have heard they are bringing back the toll.
That's right.
They are going to pay road tolls again. When they said that they have cancelled it and they were going to use these booths for toilets. It's as if they just do things in an ad hoc manner. What kind of independence do we have?
You heard that Nana Jantua, she is the General Secretary of the CPP. We will be crossing over live to Adaklu, where all the activities are happening. Currently ongoing is some display by the men from the military. We will be getting over to our colleagues, Marina Eric Egbeta, who is there shortly. But let's hear from a former senior governance advisor to the United Nations, Professor Bafo Agyeman-Duah, who is advocating a better way of commemorating the day, even though he differs with those suggesting a boycott. Professor Bafo Agyeman-Duah says the current mode of celebration has not been beneficial. He spoke to John Hughes on Sunrise.
I think it's important to mark the day. It's part of our history, in fact, a big part of Ghana's history, which I wish our students, all our children are educated on. So it's important. But marking it doesn't necessarily mean putting 100 or 1,000 people together and marching in the heat of the sun or having these route marches and all. No. There are different ways of marking this. In some countries, the national holiday, people just celebrate the day privately. They go on picnics or wherever. Now, if you put this question on the basis of economic merit, that in itself is not impressive to me, because then it will mean that when we have money, then it won't matter if we spend it on these events. But the idea is to mark the day as a major historical epoch in our history. But the celebration where money is needlessly expended is what I think we are questioning now.
So then would it be that you are not against the marking of the day, but a celebration that's presently underway in Adaklu with all the pomp and pageantry at the time when we're going to the IMF is where the question might be?
Exactly. I'm not against the marking the day. It's important. And that one I will stand by. We got to mark our Independence Day, but we don't have to mark it the way we have been doing for the past 30 or 60 years.
Professor Bafo Agyeman-Duah there, he is his former senior UN governance advisor speaking to us. Let's get to Adaklu now. Eric Marina Egbeta is joining us on the line. We're expecting in a very short time the chairman of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and president of Guinea-Bissau, Umaro Sissoko Embalo, to address the gathering there to mark the 66th Independence Day celebrations. Marina, you've been there all through the day, all throughout the morning. Can you paint a picture for us what's been happening in the last few minutes?
So, Komla, just a short while ago, the Ghana Armed Forces in their helicopters, they also came to show the update as part of the celebration this afternoon. And it was a beautiful experience for the many people who are here as they continue to explain, and you could tell the gestures, the glee that was written all over their faces as they continue to witness all of these things happen. That's generally been the sense for the close to, well, I would say close to well over 5,000 individuals who are gathered here. Some are still trying to come in and around the inner perimeter to be able to catch a glimpse at least of exactly what's happening, but catch a sense of exactly how the area has been like. There's been lots of people who are excited about what is happening here today at the youth sport complex here at Adaklu, as they continue to tell us all throughout the weekend and through last week that it is an exciting time to be a part of the celebration, to be in the Volta region. People have come as far out as from Joapon and the line. As Roland spoke to some people earlier in the day, people have really traveled from far and wide from within the Volta region to experience this particular celebration here today. And so for the many who make their way here, it is nothing short of exciting, nothing short of historic for them to be a part of an experience
as rich as this. And for many of them, the kids who are present here, it is an experience that will stay with them for a lifetime, Komla.
How far away are we from the address of President Akufo-Addo and indeed the special guest, the Guinea-Bissau president?
We are still a bit far away because the display of contingencies from the various security apparatus is yet to take place. That's the final bit which will come through, and then addresses will begin to follow. That has not happened at all, and so we're still waiting. In the sun has been blazing. There were concerns that it could rain because it rained quite heavily during the weekend, but there's not been clouds gathered here at all. And so it looks like everything will go through smoothly, and then the military contingencies will come to display the various equipment in their armories and the like, and then afterwards we can begin to hear from the dignitaries. The special guest of honor will speak, then the President of the Republic as well will take his turn to address the country.
Before I let you go, Mawina, I see on my monitor right now scores of individuals in the park wielding umbrellas. Tell us about what all of that is about.
Because of the blazing sun, and so a lot of persons are quite aware that there are no real shirts covering all of us. So some came with umbrellas under lights to protect themselves from the scorching sun, and that's just what it's been. Really taking a sense of the preparedness of these individuals to stay the long haul, to experience all of this as much as they can, and to leave home with something that will stay with them forever, really.
And business activities, would you say some of these individuals who are selling groceries, who are selling water, food, are they cashing in?
Well, in the inner perimeter for persons around, not so many persons going about selling. A lot of that is happening outside of the place because there have been arrangements made where there was water that was distributed for all the persons here. When you came in, you were given a national flag, and then you're given bottled water and then energy drink or a soft drink. And so persons have had water, but occasionally some of these individuals have come through with water selling because the sun is scorching, and so people would like to take their water a bit cold, and so that's what's been happening, but not in the number that we see on other occasions, because all of that has been pretty controlled to ensure that the process and the arena is clean. I must mention as well that there are personnel from Zoomland who continue to go around picking all of the litter to ensure that the place remains pretty clean as we continue to enjoy all of the performances. There's a parade or the march past now from the security agencies that is now taking place, and then afterwards the equipment from the various armories of the security services would then come around, and then we can begin to expect the speeches from last.
Thank you, Eric. Mawina Egbeta, my colleague who has been observing the day at Daklu in the Volta region. He will be getting back to us with all the updates as we await the address by President Akufo-Addo and the special guest of honor, President of Guinea-Bissau. You're still listening to the Midday News here on 3FM 92.7. Now, the running battle between former President John Mahama and his critics over his announcement to scrap ex gratia if voted into office in 2025 has taken a fresh twist after he describes as silly the calls for him to return the monies paid him during his tour of the Volta region. The NDC 2024 presidential hopeful says he has no money to refund. He has been speaking at the National Democratic Congress's Professional Forum Denying Awards night in Accra amidst laughter from his audience. Listen.
I say we'll cancel ex gratia. If you cancel it, you two say, when we come, we'll cancel it. But why are you insulting me and saying I should refund mine? Would you cancel it or you won't cancel it? Tell the people of Ghana, but they will bring yours first. Why? I've spent the money already. And now I'm a pensioner. Where am I going to get that money to come and pay back? I'm unemployed. And you say, bring yours to show that you have good faith. I have no source of income. You say I shouldn't work. They say presidents should not hold office of profit. So you gave it to me, I spent it. Then you come and say I should refund it. Where am I going to refund it from? I mean, it's just fudging the whole issue. They don't understand the gravity of the situation.
You had the former President John Mahama, also 2024 NDC presidential hopeful John Mahama speaking there. And if you're just joining us, this is the Midday News Stories. Gone by more than 20 passengers, that's 22 individuals, confirmed dead with many others in critical condition in hospital after a head-on collision near Kintampo in the Bono East region. We spoke to the National Road Safety Authority in the region, which says the stationary vehicle, which was in the middle of the road, may have been the cause of a latest clash in the area, which is notorious for road accidents. Since 2019, many lives have been lost on that stretch. Since then, now Ghana marks 66 years of independence with commemorative events across the country. We were live in the Volta region at Daklu specifically, which is playing host to the national parade. Meanwhile, fire has gutted the GBC local transmission station in that part of the country, disrupting a live broadcast of the Independence Day parade. And we also heard from former President John Mahama, who gave reasons why he decided to boycott the event in the Volta region. And he has also been taking a swipe at his critics who have asked him to return the monies paid him as ex gratia if he is indeed committed to scrapping the provision of a constitution he voted into office in 2025. If you log on to 3news.com, you will certainly find a lot more stories there. I am Komla Adom. We appreciate that you could join us from wherever you are. We'll be crossing over back again to the Adaklu area where President Akufo-Addo will be expecting to make an Independence Day speech as and when that becomes available. We'll hear from him. Stay tuned to our social media platforms. Good afternoon.